boy Dual Clay. We're back again with some more content about graphic and design for producers or overall. One thing I don't see that has been done before is somebody making graphics for sample libraries. If you don't know what sample libraries, they are original content and compositions that are in the style of loops, but they basically sound like they're sample. It sound like a sample. You go sample digging, the melodies sound like samples, but they are original content that creators have made. Today, the one we're zoning in is the Tree Sound exclusive Hidden Hills sample library created by Base One and Pilgrim. I watched these dudes make this in LA in the Airbnb. I had food poisoning, but it was fire. It was crazy. It went dumb. I had to make a graphic to match it, which was tight. When I was making it, I was watching them make the composition. So about time the library itself was done, I was done with making the graphic for it as well. So this is the mood I was in. As far as what we see, real nice texture, nice font, everything's chaotic, it's out of control, just like how I make my stuff. So with today, I'm going to be going through how I made this. It also like breaking it, not really breaking it down, but we're going to be like making it together. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and start fresh, right? Usually I start with 34, 34, do it black, create, bet. All right, first thing that I do here, now best thing to make this easier. In the last video, I feel like I was doing like unnecessary things that were like easy to find. I'm better. So let me pull this up here, Hidden Hills. So the first thing that I did with this is I started with the sample of the cover that I used, which is the Hidden Hills. I'll show you this right here. This right here. Now, high key, this is a GIF, and I kept it. You see how it looks like the best quality, but I love it. I love how torn up it looked. You ever go through like old record store, like crates and stuff like that, and you see how like the records are in like dingy condition? I like that. That makes me feel good about myself. So I start with this. Placement is anywhere. I'm gonna move that later on, probably. It really don't matter. It's there. Then the next thing I'm gonna work on is the font. Now the font that I used in this was, chill out, give me a second. It was the Titana. Now with the Titana, open this up, make sure I change that color. Why are they playing with me? There we go. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start that as white. And the thing that we want this to say him, kind of like that. Make sure those cap locks on. Hidden, I said cap lock on. Hidden. Yeah, I can't spell, shut up. So Hidden Hills. Looking in there, go right in here. Expand that for me. Now I like to start out with fonts with these. And when you do fonts as well, when you're doing a sample library, make sure that your fonts are like real retro style. Don't do nothing spacey unless it's like a sample library that has like space tones. I'm talking about like something that looks like extra, like straight up. Like it's weird. You see how this E is, or how these L's are? I don't even know what that is, like an elf boot. But that's fire. Okay, so after I get that in here, open this up a little bigger. This is the main font, main text that we're using. The next one we're gonna do on top of this one, I'm gonna spell out Base One, space like 3 times. I can't count. And then Pilgrim. Let's see. They're my best friends. They're like my best friends. The other day we got ice cream together. It was like I wasn't there, but I like saw it on Twitter. But okay, let me go over here to that. We're gonna open this up because I want them to shine. You feel me? Right on top. And actually, I want this to be bigger too. Expand this out some. You see how I'm making this from scratch with y'all? I'm not just like going from point to point and just like doing the eye viewer and stuff like that. I want to make it from scratch so you can see exactly how I did it and how it'll work for you. You feel me? Open this up. Put that right down like that. Now we can probably start doing colors now. Let's see. Keep on getting me with that. Miss me with that, bull. Alright. Now, you see this? We can play in here, but I kind of want the colors to match what's around here. So what I do is I want this to be a lighter shade of red. I want this to be a darker shade of red. So as far as lighter, you see that? Let's bring it down some more. Ooh. Y'all gotta relax. You see that? Ooh. Ooh. All right. I'll probably change that color a little later on, but for now, I want this to be like red like that. All right. Now we need to do a few other font, which is sample library. Open this up for you guys. And one thing I do like about when it comes to my font, now I do like everything to be chaotic, everything out of control, but I do like how where Hidden Hills stop, I want my text to stop. At the end of Hidden Hills, I want my bottom text to stop that way as well. This is making me upset a little bit. I'm gonna make this red as well, but I think I'm gonna make this red a little darker. That makes me feel better. Make this red a little lighter. There we go. There we go, like that. Move that around like that. Ooh. Every time I do this, I swear my graphics are never the same as the way I did it before. Now, one thing I do add, and which I do like, is random like text. One thing that I thought would be cool is if I just Google Hidden Hills and see what comes up. This came up. Hidden Hills is a city and gated community, blah, 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 all that. So I copy that, right? I just got it here like this. I already got it in the format that I wanted as far as the lines. We're gonna head back over here to front here. We're gonna go back to text. I'm gonna drop this in. How are you playing with me? There we go. Drop it in there just like him. You see up here? I want it to be that way. All right, go back to this. Pull this over a little bit. See what I mean? And it's just random. It looks good. Personally, that's how I feel. I think the whole thing just looks better. Let's see, just a second. I'll fix some of this real quick. Hold up, I messed something up. I'm gonna erase this. Bye, I messed it up. I'm sorry, you guys. So we're gonna fix that part. Back in here. Fix that. Open this up a little bit. And like I said, I want the font to face the other way like that. Turn this down. Now for that, I want that font to be very dark for that. For that, I want that font to be dark. It don't even really gotta be there. And it makes no sense that it's there. It's just there because I said so. And ain't nobody but to throw hands with me about it. The same way how I got that font up there, I like this. Just like that. And I'm gonna make this same way with it. I think I want that last line. There we go. So far, that's how the font really looks. Base 1, Pilgrim, sample library, and then this whole little breakdown down here. It's just filling out some of the emptiness that's in the graphic that I want to have cleared up. As far as the graphic, I also had like a little sticker thing over here. Now, it looks like this. All right, so that's what that is. Now, how I find things like that, I give you a little drippet of some sauce. Pinterest. Man, Pinterest got the sauce. Pinterest. Now, how you find this? Go here, logos, put random stuff in. Just search random stuff, it don't matter. I cut out that bottom part over here. Put it over here. I got it lined up with the Hidden Hills, right? Open that a little bit, line it up with the Hidden Hills. Now, if you take a look, you see how the colors really are like, doesn't really clash. So what I do is I come down here to this area right over here and I use hard light. So you can either use hard light or you can use liner light. I like hard light because it leaves still a little bit of the whiteness there. What I'm doing is it's kind of distorting it a little bit. The white isn't as bright. The black is blacker now. So it faded in with the graphic itself. Now, one thing that I also did is I had this layered over top of that actually. Let me show you how to do that. So let me go back to my Finder. See back into the gift. Right there. Spin that move around, you feel me? Bring this down like that. Even it out a little bit. Leave it on top of that. You see what I'm doing? Same thing that I did before. I'm gonna come down. You see? Screen doesn't look right, does it? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to multiply. I like multiply. Or we can also do darken. I like that too. It's just, and it doesn't have to look perfect. It doesn't have to be obvious because it's really just filling out some of those dark spots that's on there or some of the empty spots. Like even this, you say this part is empty, you're gonna place a sticker there. You'll see there. You know how I like about my stickers that you watched the last video? Go watch it. So I like how that looks like that. That looks fire to me. That's heat. Let me pull this back. So far, base 1 hitting heels. Well, with Pilgrim, sample library. That's looking real icy, real juice. Now the next thing I would do on top of this is heat. I like this. Can you guess what I'm going to do? Let's say it together. 1, stickers. No, texture. We're going to do texture next. Now I use 2, maybe 3 textures in this. Let me show you. The first one I used was this one here. This is like one of my Ace Boom ones. I really like this one. Ace Boom. How old am I? Ace Boom. And you see what I did? Just like the last video, we're going to layer it on top. Go over to this, and then we're going to lighten. We're going to lighten over, not screen. Look at screen. It made it kind of bright. We just want to lighten it a little bit. Really, I want some of the texture to be on top of the sample cover of it, whereas on the trees, and then I want most of the griminess to be on top of the black at the top. You see how it already looks grimy? We're going to put that on light, and I like that. I'm going to add another one, which is going to be that little ripple like piece of paper, kind of like a plastic that you saw. This one right here. Add this one now. You firmy, you fizzle, and then we're going to rotate this 180. No, we're going to rotate this 90. Depth. Same process. Leave that on top. There you go. You can come back, and we're going to do the same one. What we did before, we did screen, we did lighten. See that? I like that. I like it. I like it a lot. One more we're going to do on top of that. So far, it looks kind of good. It looks dingy. Looks like a record that you just like pulled out. But I want to add one more texture on top of it, which is going to be like particles and like some scratches and stuff like that. I'll go back to my Finder. I believe it was this one. I'm going to layer this one back on top. You see that? You see that? You saw it? You will see it? You see it now? All right. Same process, my G. We're gonna lighten. What? That looks hard. What? Let me see screen just in case. Nah, that's too much. See, I do too much. I like this. This is tight. So far, I don't know how long this video has been so far, but if you look so far, what I've done is layered the text how I want to. Play around with different colors. Added little random miscellaneous things just to give it its own little vibe. And I remember Pinterest is one of the things you can do. And then also I added that Hidden Hill font that I found. Sometimes if you're doing a graphic, just Google stuff and just read it. It's a sample library, like I said. So I'm like sampling really when I do this as well. And then the next step that we're doing is I don't want to do any more effects on top of this, nor do I want to add any stickers on top of this, because I want to show you guys something that I recently learned. So you go over here, once you're finalized with this, save it first. If you don't know how to save, I'm about to do it again. Right here, save. Hit save. I don't need to save. I already got it done. Don't be like me. So we're gonna come over here to layer. We're gonna go to flatten image. Now what this does, and remember, if you don't save, you're screwed. What this does, it takes everything and it flattens it onto it and makes it as one graphic. It's kind of like I render it out as a PDF or a JPEG, but it's still inside the software as the original stuff. So next thing that I'm going to do on top of this is I'm going to do grain. Basically, this is done. If you don't like grain, or if you don't like using any saturation, or if you don't like brighten it or add any type of tones, you don't have to. It's yours. This is just how I do it. So let me see. We're going to go up here. We're going to go to filter, and we're going to add noise. Now be minimal when it comes to this noise. This noise is dangerous. I didn't realize how dangerous this was until I added as much noise as I want to, and I rendered it out, and it looked like my jacket. So render it out with a little bit of noise. You saw how I did that? I can do it again. I'm gonna filter. We go all the way to the top. We go to noise. We go to add noise, and you can see how much noise I'm adding in this area. Cancel that. Right? So that's really dope. I like how that looks. I go over to adjust, and I go over to brightness. Now the contrast, I want to turn this up a little bit. And you see, I like contrast because let's say everything's different shades. When you have the contrast in there, at least it dims all the shades to a similar shade. And not the same color, a similar shade, whereas though it's like a different tone. The brightness, play with that a little bit. Be careful with turning it up, turn it down, turn it down. I want it down a little bit. I like it a little dark because I want it to be gloomy. The samples on this project is crazy, by the way, too. Check that out on treesoundrecords.com. I said it right, bass. All right. And I might add a little bit of saturation. Let's see how I feel. Let's see how I feel. That's some heat. That's some heat. Yeah. All right, that's some heat. So I'm pretty much done with that part. There's more. All right. So the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to duplicate layer. So the next step after that, I did make a background copy and I duplicated it. So as though what I'm about to do next is show you guys how I made the trees look all wavy, how I made the hidden hills look all weird, and how I made everything look like it was distorted. So we're going to start on the background copy. Now click on that. We're going to go back up to filter and we're going to go to liquify. All right. So you see how this looks all bright because now we're a little zoomed in on it. So it looks a little weird, but that's fine. We could always darken it on top of it. Now liquify, what it does and how I use it, it's like it bends the font, it bends the text, and you have this which is controlling it. I'll show you. Look at this. Look at that. Look at it. I love that. Like it just is perfect. But when you're dealing with fonts and everything, you want to make sure that you turn the pressure down a little bit, turn the size down a little bit, because look, I can scoop that up. I can scoop this down. I want sample library to like graze in, and I want this to dip a little bit too. Mess around with bass, mess around with Pilgrim. No, I take that back. Don't ever mess around with bass and Pilgrim. I swear to God, I kill somebody. All right, so you pull this down. You feel me? You feel me? Mess with the trees. Pull this in. Move that out. Pull this up. Move this in. Sauce it up. See? Don't do that because then you're going to expose the bottom section. Just pull that back now. It's okay. It's like when you put stuff underneath your bed, your mom told you clean the room. It's fine. I have no structure while doing this. I promise to God, this is all at random right now. Just doing it. And it will never look like the first way I just made it on the first example that I showed you. It will never, because I'm going to always do it different ways. That's how I do my graphics. It's all in the moment. Mix this up a little bit. You feel me? I like this. I enjoy this. I'm having fun. This is going to be most of the video, me doing this. And then one thing that I do like, turn down size, turn up pressure. So like just bring this through. Woo! Bring this through. Bring this through. You're gonna have people ask you, yo, where did you get this font? It was like, I made it. Like, what are you saying? I didn't, nobody made this font for me, for real. And then down here as well, you can see preview. It'll show you the preview of what we did. We messed this up, but it looks great. So far, this is what we're working with so far. I've distorted the letters up. I got the hidden hills all distorted with it as well. It's all coming together like that. Next step, final step. Y'all know what I like. Y'all said those stickers. Stickers. Now this one is my Beacon sticker. Thought it was real vintage. You can find this one in my Dark Side Value 1 tag. This is before I made the Tree Sound sticker, so this is one of the ones I was using a lot on it as well. Now, so what is over the S? They know what it is. It's kind of like when you go to a record store and you buy a record and stickers over top of the font or the text or even one of the artist's face that's on it. It does not matter. I do not care. Let me see, Finder, and then a barcode. They playing with me, cuz. They playing with me, cuz. They playing with me, cuz. Okay, I got it. Bring that down, render that down a little bit like that. Bring it in. And that's some heat. Bet. All right, so this is really how I made it. This is how I make my sample libraries. I'm real random. And like I said, I sample. It's a sample library. Why not sample? Find something that looks real groovy, something that looks real distort, something that looks like something you wouldn't see somewhere, crazy font, dope stickers, random stuff like this. I don't know what to say. Logos, you can find it on Pinterest. Search Pinterest, make an account, tell them Dude Clay sent you. They get you like 30% off, I think. But you go ahead and try this out. Once again, it's your boy Dude Clay. Remember to comment down in the comment section if you want any other tutorials about graphics or designs. Produce as well, so I'm gonna be doing some loops and doing some beat stuff as well. Once again, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Dude.